Do I think that Johnny Depp will win? I think that's likely. Does that mean that I think there will be justice for Johnny? Unfortunately, no. In this video, I want to talk about the defamation trial that's going on between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. This is another perfect example of misandry in the justice system. In December 2018, Amber Heard wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post saying that she was the victim of domestic violence. She referred to herself as a public figure representing domestic abuse. While the op-ed didn't mention Depp's name specifically, it was nevertheless clearly referencing him. I mean, after all, if she wasn't talking about Johnny Depp, then who else could she be talking about? Now, it's a very interesting coincidence that she writes this op-ed right around the time that the MeToo movement was at its peak. This was the perfect time, the perfect opportunity for Amber to get the movement on her side and destroy Johnny Depp. Of course, Amber's article caused an uproar and the MeToo movement was behind her 100%. Here's Johnny Depp explaining to the court the effect that Amber Heard's article had on his career.
There was no truth in it. There was no truth in it whatsoever. And the fact that it was coming down on me so hard and so quickly, and how it gained momentum around the world. And then you notice people looking at you differently. And then you notice calls stop coming from agents and producers and that sort of thing. This was before, in fact, the Me Too movement had come around. This was a while before that, so I couldn't have expected the Me Too movement to happen, but once that happened, then it just went into skyrocket mode. I mean, to say that it was unfair is about the largest understatement it's actually the smallest understatement. It controlled my every waking second from the moment that I woke up until the moment that I dropped. Even on the road, playing shows, you'd go out and you'd play for an hour and a half or 2 hours, and you'd do your best to get through that. And I can remember getting off of finishing the show, getting on the bus with the other band members, and just going to the back of the bus, and you had to get it out. So I just sat back in the back of the bus and cried and hid it from people.
Pretty bad stuff, to say the least. People started boycotting films that starred Johnny Depp, and even just 4 days after the op-ed was published, Disney announced that they would be removing Depp from his role as Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. There were even petitions to prohibit Johnny Depp from playing Grindelwald in the Fantastic Beasts movies. However, despite these allegations against Depp, Warner Brothers and J.K. Rowling decided to keep Depp on as Grindelwald. This prompted The Sun, which is a London newspaper, to publish a headline that labeled Depp as a wife-beater. In 2020, Johnny Depp sued The Sun for libel and he lost that case. But here's the thing. There are huge holes in Heard's narrative. For one thing, in the video TMZ released, Johnny Depp is not seen throwing anything, let alone a bottle of wine. 2 domestic violence trained LAPD officers testified under oath saying that there was no sign of injury or property damage on the night of one of Depp's alleged attacks. Then there are the paparazzi shots taken the day after Heard appeared at court with a bruise on her face, in which she appears to be both makeup and injury-free. So obviously Amber Heard lied. Here is some testimony from Depp and a police officer telling the court how Amber had been faking her injuries.
And she came back about 7 or 8 minutes later. She had a Kleenex or a tissue to her nose, and then she pulled it away from her nose and she showed it to me, and there was red. There was indeed like red color on the tissue, but I know that there was no connection to her nose. No part of my body made connection to her nose or eyes or anything like. So she said, she took it away and she showed it to me. She said, "Way to go, Johnny, you broke my nose. You broke my nose." And I knew I hadn't, so I said, you go into sort of placation mode, which is, "Oh my God, let me see, are you okay? What happened? Let me see." And she wouldn't let me see anything. And so I just tried to calm the situation as best I could. All the while, I was waiting for her to dispense with that Kleenex because I didn't trust it. And so I waited, and when she dropped it into the wastebasket and left the room, went somewhere downstairs, I think, I don't know. And then I pulled the Kleenex out of the trash bin, and I inspected it pretty closely and realized that it was nail polish.
At any point in time during the entirety of the incident, did Ms. Heard answer any of your questions?
No, she did not.
During the entire time of the incident, did Ms. Heard complain of any injuries?
No, she did not.
During the entirety of your time at the incident, did anybody say anything that made you believe a crime had been committed?
No, they did not.
During the entirety of the time you were at the incident, did anybody say anything that made you believe an act of domestic violence had occurred?
No, they did not.
So Johnny Depp was not abusive. But as we all know in this gynocentric society we live in, a woman's word is gospel. We are supposed to automatically believe anything women say. If you so much as have an ounce of skepticism, or if you have a shadow of a doubt as to what a woman is saying, you must be a misogynist. As such, the negative backlash against Depp was immediate. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, it gets worse. Not only was Johnny Depp falsely accused of domestic violence, but the reality is that Depp was the victim of domestic violence, and the real abuser was Amber Heard. And whenever she would get abusive, Depp would simply walk away from the situation. He'd bunker himself in a bathroom or a bedroom just to get away from her. This only got her more angry.
And as I was approaching the door to my office, Miss Heard ran out of the master bedroom, or bedroom, and started just throwing wild punches at me, at the back of my head, at the side of my head, at anything that she could connect with. And I would have to show you how I tried to avoid the attack. If it's all right.
Yes, yes, sir.
If I'm walking this way to the door of my office, the bedroom door is where you are. I'd walked across the mezzanine there, and as I'm approaching the door, suddenly I'm just getting clobbered from behind, and one's natural primal instinct is to kind of duck and cover. So I ducked and covered, but they didn't stop. So I came up this like this, sort of protecting my face, but at the same time, with her arms swinging wildly, I put my arms out, and I was able to get her into a bear hug or something, just to stop her from hitting me anymore. And while holding her in that position, she was still trying to, she had her legs, she could kick, she could knee me. So she was still kind of very angry, very animated.
She would have loved it if Johnny would have retaliated. That would only serve to help make Amber look like the victim. It's scary, isn't it? If you're a man and you're in an abusive relationship, you can't so much as retaliate or defend yourself because you will for sure be seen as the abuser if you do. The woman can simply say you attacked her for no reason. There have been multiple eyewitness accounts of Amber Heard throwing objects at Depp, punching him with a closed fist, spitting on him, and verbally abusing him. Here's Depp describing how Amber severed one of his fingers.
Takes the second bottle, which is the larger one. I'm in this position again, and my hand is on the edge of the bar, like that, leaning over, the fingers like that, and she threw the large bottle and it made contact and shattered everywhere. And I honestly didn't feel the pain at first at all. I felt no pain whatsoever. What I felt was, I felt heat. I felt heat, and I felt as if something were dripping down my hand, you know. And then I looked down and realized that the tip of my finger had been severed. So we went to the emergency room. The doctor asked me what happened, and I lied to him. I said that I had smashed it in these large accordion doors, that it got caught in the accordion doors.
Why would you lie about that?
I lied because I didn't want to disclose that it had been misheard, that it had thrown a vodka bottle at me and then took my finger off. I didn't want to get her in trouble. I didn't want to. I tried to keep things as copacetic and as easy as possible for everyone. I did not want to put her name in that mix.
Yeah, he even lied to the doctor about his finger injury so that Amber wouldn't get into trouble. Despite what she did to him, he's still trying to maintain peace. So, to sum up everything so far, a woman could just simply lie and say that she is a victim of domestic abuse, and she immediately has the support of the MeToo movement and the mainstream media. The man, on the other hand, has all this evidence and audio recordings showing without a shadow of a doubt that he is the actual victim, yet Amber doesn't receive the same backlash that Johnny did, even though she should be receiving more. She's still employed by Warner Brothers and L'Oreal. But come to think of it, Amber should be working for L'Oreal anyway, since she's so good at making stuff up. And we hear nothing from the MeToo movement about any of this. Where are they now? They should admit that they were wrong in supporting Amber Heard, and they should now be on Johnny Depp's side. I thought they were all about supporting victims of domestic violence. But I guess that's only if you're female. There should be a HeToo movement that calls attention to and supports male victims of domestic violence. Because think about it this way. Johnny Depp is a famous actor. This case was 6 years in the making, and during these past 6 years, Johnny Depp has been gaslighted by Amber and the media, he has had his name tarnished, and he's lost some acting roles. And only now can he finally get a chance at a modicum of justice. Because keep in mind, this is not a criminal case, it's a civil case. Depp is suing Amber for defamation, not abuse. So Amber won't even go to jail for any of this. So even if Johnny Depp wins this case, true justice still won't be served. Amber is both a false accuser and an abuser. She should face the appropriate punishment, but of course, she won't. This is yet another case of misandry in the justice system. In my last video, I talked about more cases of women falsely accusing men of crimes that they didn't commit, and how justice still isn't served even after the truth comes out. These days, men really need to have cameras and recorders with them at all times to protect themselves. Not for the purpose of winning any court cases, unfortunately, but for the purpose of having the highest chance of not losing them. Anyway, imagine being an average man in an abusive relationship, a man who isn't a rich celebrity, who can't afford the best lawyers, who doesn't have evidence recorded on tape. Your word as a man means absolutely nothing. Nobody will believe you.
What the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim of people's domestic violence, and yes. I know it's a fair fight. And see how many people believe or side with you.
But the woman who is the actual abuser can lie and claim that she's the victim, and that's enough to have you, the real victim, put away. Yeah, some patriarchy we're living in, huh? So yes, as I said before, even if Johnny wins, he still won't get true justice. But on the plus side, I have been seeing a good amount of support for Johnny, and Amber really doesn't have a leg to stand on in this case. So I think this could very well be a step in the right direction to help spread awareness that men can be victims of abuse too, and women can also be liars. In a way, I feel a little sorry for Amber's lawyers. They have their work cut out for them, don't they? But anyway, that's all I have to say about this trial for now, and until next time, I'm out.